Another day, another heresy. Today I'm recording the audio outside, and I will be apologizing, well, right now, as I am currently a week late on posting this video. This video was supposed to come out right after our previous video, but I'm late. I'm sorry. Today we will be painting an Iron Warriors Legionary, wielding a bolt gun, and yeah, that's it. First off, we start with the base coat of Lead Belcher. Now, quite literally, base coat the entire model. Now, just to make sure that you didn't mishear me, I didn't say base coat the entire armor panel sections. I didn't say only base coat the bolter. I said base coat everything. Every single detail. This is because the Iron Warriors have a very, I'm gonna be honest, crappy paint scheme. Their armor is pure metallics, followed by a little bit of black and stripes. Hazard stripes in particular. They aren't special. And that's kind of their whole point of the Legion. Their Primarch, Perturabo, he sucks. His only thing that he had going for him during the Siege of Terra, Horus Heresy, and Great Crusade was that he was a master at siege warfare. He did not fight with a blade, he rarely used melee weapons, and he didn't see honor in duels. Whenever there was a champion that challenged him in combat, he would rather use his weapon systems, such as Stormbolter arrays that he had mounted on his wrists, have legionaries fire them down, or just drop a mortar shell. He did not see the point in it. He thought more tactically. Get the mission done, don't strive for unnecessary honors, I guess. Now that we're done painting the entire model Lead Belcher, we're going to come in with Abaddon Black. The black that we use in basically all of our videos. We will use this to paint the shoulder pads, the gun casing, and later down the line, the tech suit, aka the Black Carapace. Or at least I believe it's called the Black Carapace. I've never been too sure. I know that the Black Carapace is said to be surgically implanted onto the Space Marines, and the book is described as a second layer of muscles underneath the skin. One excerpt I can think of is when Karn the Betrayer was beating down on Erebus, and it says that as soon as Gorechild? I believe the chain actor was called, started eating into Erebus, his black carapace was on full display due to his muscles and skin being torn apart. Yeah, I've never been too sure. Regardless, we're going to paint the black undersuit on the Space Marine, the shoulder pads, a knee pad, and the bolter casing. This will give us a good contrast when it comes to the rest of the armor. Speaking of which, we're going to be doing a cut in a minute as, well, there isn't much point in just sitting here watching black be painted onto a silver model. If the full video is ever wanted, I can release it with minimal cuts on, I don't know, I guess a Patreon, I guess, or something, or I don't know. I'll come to, when it comes to that, I'll decide eventually. But right now, I think it'll be better if we focus on the model at hand, the projects at hand, and the current set of 18 viewers. Well, subscribers and also viewers. Next up, we'll paint the skin. This will be a single paint, 2 layers, and that'll be it. As I said, Iron Warriors are boring. That's why I prefer not to paint them most of the time. As we continue painting the model, we're just going to do 2 layers over this semi-bare-headed Space Marine. Quite literally, just paint the skin, and yeah, that's it. Nothing really to it. As this is just a random run-of-the-mill, not important, not special at all guy, we're not going to put much effort into him. Also because, Iron Warriors. I don't think there's legitimately anyone who actually plays them. Let alone, in 40k. I know there's a couple because, a new Horsehair or 40k releases for Iron Warriors, but yeah, that's it. Something to note is that Iron Warriors actually despise helmets like this, or lack of helmets like this. It is tactically stupid. Yeah. Essentially, you're begging for getting a headshot when you're helmetless, so, they don't really care for this, and they don't see the point of fighting people without their helmets because they're that stupid. Next up, we come to the only important part of this actual model. The stripes. Now, the stripes are basically the only interesting thing about the Iron Warriors, mostly because they're yellow instead of, silver or black. Continuing on with our model, we're going to finish up the knee pad by adding on, one, maybe, just one more stripe, and then filling them in better. Now for our shoulder pad up top, the one with the skull on it, we're going to paint some stripes on there too. Now, while they're white, the stripes will look a bit odd, out of place, and overall just very zebra-like. Once we get to the yellow, we'll be using an Imperial Fist contrast paint. This will give us a good yellow, and I think that's it. It'll just give us yellow. Now that we are back, we have our stripes down, which, by the way, I don't really have any good definitive ways to do stripes. Just freehand it. Go wild. Guess. But now, we're going to take our Imperial Fist contrast paint and carefully, very carefully, not... Okay, never mind, we already just painted the entirety of the black. We're just going to paint yellow. Now, yes, it will get on the skull a little bit, but we can come back later with some lead belcher and touch it up. Already, this man is looking more Iron Warrior and less Zebra Warrior. Now, we may have put a little bit too much yellow onto the shoulder pad and the knee pad. So we're going to clean off our brush, and then we're going to dip it back into the yellow. By this, we soak up some of the yellow that is left behind and leave only the thin layer that's needed. And that is why we dip it into all the... Well, I wasn't going to say crevices, but, this is a flat shoulder pad, so... And a flat knee pad, so... Yeah, there's... Shut up. Now we're going to take Runelord Brass and paint the studs on the shoulder pad. With this, we should be about one step away from completing our model. I think. Wait. No, two steps. First we gotta use the last bit of the black and paint the undersuit. After the studs, that is. Yeah, this isn't really much of an interesting video, so I tried by doing the yellow, but well, I also edited it pretty neatly, so I think that'll give me some points, right? Right? Yeah. The next video is gonna be more interesting. Now we've come to the very, I'll be honest, aside from the undersuit, which you just paint black on there, we've come to the second most interesting part of the video. We're going to take this shade paint Agrax Earthshade and coat the entirety of the model. The only part that will be spared are the shoulder pads and the face. Otherwise, we're just going to wipe grime all over the model. And even then, the shoulder pads are going to get dirtied, so yeah. Just make this guy look filthy. Not filthy rich, but make it look like he had to scavenge for this armor through the mud. The mud that's still wet because it's raining on the world that he's fighting on. Yeah. The Iron Warriors were never the cleanest of the legions. They also weren't the most filthy. That belongs to the Death Guard. The Death Guard are the ones who were infected by Nurgle's plague during the Horse Heresy and became fat, grotesque, smell like ass, and literally have their insides hanging out. The Iron Warriors, on the other hand, they waded through mud, shit, and basically everything that you can think of during a siege. You had sewer systems that you needed to be broken into? Iron Warriors. You had literal trenches? Iron Warriors. And, guardsmen, but mostly Iron Warriors. They are meant to take those tasks that nobody wants. The ones that will give you no badge of honor, will give you no commendations, and will just leave you as the same person you were before, except it's been an entire year or 6 months where you've just been in the same place, fighting the same people, for one word. Siege warfare. Siege Hammer 40k. Oh hey, the bird's back. I like birds. Now we're going to take our Abaddon Black one last time, and we're going to turn our model around. Now with these Mark II arms, you don't really have elbows to paint. What we do have is the knee bow, basically the part behind the knee. So we're going to paint that on our weird little tech leg. This was done by using a hobby knife and literally just shaving down the entirety of the leg. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Next up, we're going to paint his booty cheeks. Space Marines have always been known for their prominent butt cheeks. They are masters when it comes to doing squats. And, deadlifting the weight of the Imperium on their shoulders. Or the Traitor Legions for the Iron Warriors, I guess. And after that, our model's done. Yeah. Now, as this is a very minimalistic type video, I'm actually going to do the spin without a cut. Thank you to all the subscribers. My girlfriend, Valerie, Phoenix, Virgil, my girlfriend's brother and mother, and everyone else.